So years ago, I met a guy who's trending today and was trending yesterday on Twitter. His name is Rick Wilson. You'll probably remember when Rick suggested that someone needed to...
And the donor class can't just sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, well, don't worry, this will all work itself out. They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
That's not a thing you're supposed to say about presidents. Rick Wilson knows that, and he is upset because the donor class had abandoned him, in a way. That's what I think. He recently said, kill Tesla, save America. Okay, he can say, I just said kill a company. So years ago, I met this guy back when he was a hardcore conservative Republican with principles aligned to the Republican Party and conservatism, willing to give his life for the party. He had gone to war against Media Matters, who went to war against him, and he reached out to me on Twitter. Could we get together? And I was glad to get together with Rick Wilson. I didn't tell anyone at the committee, but I went and had a drink with him. I don't drink, he did. When I showed up, he was wearing what I think are alligator skin boots. Man, they looked expensive, and a really nice blazer, some well-cut jeans and a black shirt, kind of like this one, and a beautiful watch. Not a Phoenix 7 Pro, but some kind of Pontac Philippe Rolex, something like that. And we met upstairs at this club, and we talked, and he laid the story on me about how he went to war with Media Matters and how that mattered to him and the Republican Party and how we needed to do away with the Susan Collinses and the Lisa Murkowskis and get down to the hardcore conservative principles. And then along came an orange dude. And like a lot of us, Rick bought into the propaganda that he was a Russian agent and would destroy the country. Now, he was an outside agent. He brought his own people to town, people like Brad Parscale. He didn't come in and seek any help from the existing DC consultant base. He brought his own team of data people. That can't be done. You have to use our folks. Now, I don't know how much of this was Rick Wilson's actual response to President Trump, or at that point, candidate Trump, but I called him and had him on my radio show. And he laid out some very, very interesting data. Look at this is the liberal media picking our candidate. They're giving him all this extra coverage. And it was typical Rick Wilson at that point. Well presented at that point. But there's this saying, and I think it's true, particularly in D.C., that President Trump's mere presence breaks people, and it broke him. All of a sudden, so many of the consulting gigs were gone, and he put his bet all in against Trump, all in. Now, he's a guy who wants to see a great American company, albeit one started with tax dollars that I don't think we ever got back. He wants to see it destroyed because Elon Musk is conservating. He's being a conservative fiscally and, in fact, socially. So he has to be destroyed. At least he didn't say put a bullet in him. God said something about things like this. You shall not murder. And if you're thinking of murder, Jesus said, well, then you've committed it. I hope Rick will think about that.